It's Brian here from quantlabs.net. It's been a while since I posted anything, but I thought I'd give you an update where I'm at. As some of you know, I've already completed about a week ago Ernie Chian's book on winning strategies and building strategies. I find this is a great foundation to work from to gain both technical and math knowledge, bring them together, and at the same time what they mean. So it's a good book to start from. It's a good reference point. Now, during this whole journey of the last, coming up to 3 years or very close to it, the technical side I've got down pat. I know all the technologies I want to use, all the programming languages, when and where and what application, and so on and so forth. So I'm pretty good there, or I'm okay there. The next big challenge for me is acquiring the math knowledge. It's one thing to use an algorithm or a function in whatever programming language, but the other end of it, the question becomes, is it valid? Can you use it within reason? The issues that I have with languages like Python and R, specifically R, is I don't know where that package is coming from. Can I use that package with confidence? And usually my answer is no. The reason I say that is because a lot of the packages are written by academia, and they're really, I find if somebody came to me with a $1 million+ portfolio and I'm going to be running a whole set of algorithms and trading systems around that, and then basically allocating capital on those type of technologies where I'm not sure where the technology is coming from, I'm not going in it with a lot of confidence, and it becomes also a liability as well if there is in fact issues with that type of technology. That's why I'm using .NET and Microsoft, and I believe a lot of the other big players like banks and other big players that are actually making real money and have been doing it for decades are very hesitant to bring in open source technologies because they need to have somebody on the hook. If they're going to use certain technologies, if something goes off the rails, who are they going to go after? If it's going to be the MathWorks from MATLAB, it's going to be Microsoft or .NET stuff or SQL Server or whatever. And that's why there's that hesitance in the business, I guess. So as a result, I don't know if people know, but I've been thrown obscene amounts of money to run algorithms for many organizations, we'll call them, at 7, 8, and as high as 9 digits. So yes, I can be held accountable. Yes, if something goes wrong, I can be automatically sued for $50,000. It's just like an automatic penalty in a whatever kind of contract. So these are the sort of things you need to be aware of and be very critical on yourself on what you do decide to use when you start to manage other people's money. That's the industry inside. There's a certain standard I'm just starting to understand and pick up on. So as a result, what's slowing me down now is the algorithm development. When you talk to successful people, who I'll name, I won't say any more names anymore because I'm not doing that anymore. I think you know who I'm talking about. They're very successful at what they do, and the reason is because they basically, as a solution, as I call it, they roll their own solution. Meaning, they have a set of math algorithms. They're that good at being able to develop their own algorithms and turn them into a library of some kind, and then have the platform make all those type of calculations and so on and so forth. So they develop 100% of their own code, whereas certain other ones obviously going to rely on certain libraries. So that sort of thing slows you down with that type of mentality where you could use something like a MATLAB, use a function, and not really give a rat's ass behind the scenes on how that function works. I'm a little different. I like to take it as deep as I can to fully understand the math of everything. That's just how I do it. And that really slows me down. So in this case, I've got maybe 2 or 3 very similar strategies on what Ernie's got. I've handpicked those to use for, let's say, mean reversion with Kalman filter. That's kind of what I'm using. So I'm already under attack on learning mean reversion itself, all the functions that go with that, on top of the Kalman filter as well, that algorithm as well. So to understand that and reverse engineer it is a very tedious process. I mean, obviously, as you do more, you get faster at it. And because I'm so pulled apart on different things, it's very difficult to stay focused on one area. So I decided years ago to focus on what type of technologies I want, what I'm comfortable with, what I can use as a launching pad, and then start learning the really, really difficult stuff, which is what I'm doing now. This is in order to be a quant, a true quant that really understands the math side. So that means as you start to acquire these new skills, most people that come out of a PhD school already have those skills, but they might not have the technology, or the people coming in from technology may not be as strong as the math. To get the two together, it's a pretty hard combination. On top of that, it's one thing to know technology, but to also, pretty well the industry standard is to know C++. And that's not a hard language, but it's a tough language to implement things with, especially because you have to manage your own memory as opposed to C# or Java, where you have a memory manager and a garbage collection process. So these are the typical challenges you go through, and true quants that are truly profitable and truly valuable in a lot of large banks, they're earning salaries of probably $500,000, and with their compensation are put up in the areas of $1 million plus. And the reason is because of that. It's because of the skills and the knowledge that they have. There's a lot of their education is important, but as they start to stick around in a bank for 5-10 years, their education is just a piece of paper that says something. It's the education or the practical that they have within that bank that is so valuable that they have to literally hang on to them, and that's how you get there. And what makes them very valuable is most likely really masters at C++, probably Python as well, and probably know MATLAB and R really well as well, or they probably know Java or whatever path they're taking. So that's just one set of skills, and on the other set is the math. And the math is really critical. We all know that, but to get to that point with the confidence takes a lot of time. So that's where I'm at now, where I'm trying to develop those skills pretty well on my own, and at the same time be able to say with confidence, yes, this algorithm is really good and it's valid. And you know, there lies the problem of R versus MATLAB or some kind of argument like that. So once I get to that point, then yay. But on the other hand, though, as I'm starting to think about what I charge for all this stuff, it's very cheap. And the reason it's cheap is because the skill level's there, but it's not up here. And as you can imagine, once you get up to this level, that's when you start to charge, if you're going to do it, top dollar. But there's going to be a lot of companies that want you, and then you have to be hush-hush. So who knows? That day may come where I might just pull everything off the internet, including the site, the YouTube channel, everything might just one day disappear. So at this present time, what's slowing me down, just so people know, is these algorithms, this development, and to reverse engineer it, and basically like peeling back an onion, and it's just learning all that. It's a very, as I said, very slow, tedious process. So hang tight as I put up more videos, and I'm also, as I'm discovering stuff, I'm only putting it on my membership. So what I'm saying is, I don't think I'll be posting as many YouTube videos as I'd like, just due to the fact of the amount of value put into it and the amount of time. And you get to a point where you're very aware of what we call leeches, that just leech and just take, but not giving back to something that we do. And as a community, especially with my membership, obviously they give back through compensation of payment, right? That's how it's done. So that's where we're at. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a bunch of haters out there going on about Quantopian and blah, 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 blah. These type of operations are fly-by-night. They come out with a big bang, but where are they left at the end of the day? Are they growing? I've tried to involve different various organizations for the meetups, and you never hear from them again because I don't know why. I'm not going to sit here and go on YouTube and talk about it. But at the end of the day, I'm still here. I'm still plugging away. I'm passionate about what I do. I wake up every day doing it full time. And I've been doing it now for a good couple of years. And I think these are the reasons why guys like you-know-who comes to me and starts with confidence, being able to show me stuff that nobody else will ever see. And for me, I'm not going to repeat it as well. It's as the industry says. So all my stuff is fairly high level, but it's a different story for my membership as well. So I'm just letting you know why things are slowing down and the lessons learned in this whole process, because it's a lot. All right, talk to you later.